Hello, everyone. Hello. Good afternoon, guys.
Hello.
How's everyone doing?
Hello.
Can you guys unmute yourselves and just greet each other a wonderful afternoon?
Hi, Mr.
Afternoon, everyone.
Carl.
Hi,
Hi.
everyone.
Hi,
Hello.
Carl.
Hello.
Hello.
I hear you, Nathan.
How are you?
Oh, I'm
Hello,
feeling great and
everyone.
excited. I'm so excited this afternoon, Nathan. Thank you for asking.
Me gusta.
Okay, thank you so much, guys. Once again, good afternoon, everyone. And okay, can I ask everyone to mute themselves now? All right, thank you so much. Now, welcome to our second Erdkinder Environment Project Forum. Now, a few months ago, we met and had a meeting with World Wildlife Fund, and the first challenge was set, and that is to help the environment from its current environmental problem. So today, we will have two other guests who will inspire us to do the next steps to do our cause. But before we formally begin, so let's take this moment to pray. But before we pray, let's listen to this song of prayer. Psalm 46 verses 1 to 3 says, "God is our refuge and strength, a very pleasant help in trouble. Therefore we will not fear, though the earth gives away, though the mountains be moved in the heart of the sea, though its waters roar and foam, though the mountains tremble at its swelling." Let's pray. Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for this wonderful afternoon that we can gather and we can meet each other again for this Erdkinder Environment Project. I pray for wisdom for the speakers, for guests, and even for the adolescents. I pray that you give them the heart and the passion to help us revive the environment back to its normal pace. Lord, thank you so much for this great time that you've given us. May this be a fun time together. All these we ask and pray in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay, so good afternoon once again, everyone. Now, to help us understand the program this afternoon, so we have this. So we will begin with the introduction and prayer, and there's going to be some icebreaker right after this. And then we'll have the first talk. And the title of the talk is Media and its Role in Environmental Conservation. And we will have an open forum right after. And then the second talk will be Public Speaking and its role in environmental awareness. And then after that, you will be given an opportunity to work together in a breakout. So later on, we will tell you what's going to happen in the breakout because you will have to choose your own group. So there will be 3 groups, and what these 3 groups are, you will know later in the program. And then after that, we will have a closing. But now, to start everything, I would like to call on Miss Christine. Miss Christine, are you there?
Yes, Mr. Carl. Hello. Good afternoon,
Hello, Miss
everyone.
Christine. How are you, Miss Christine?
I'm fine, Mr. Carl.
Are you excited?
Yes. Okay, is everyone also excited for this afternoon? You can use our reaction button. You can use you can hit like. Okay, or anything that's available there. So thank you, Mr. Carl, for this afternoon's overview. So a lot of things in store for us this afternoon. So just before we dive into this afternoon's talk, let's all play a game first. Who among us here knows how to play 4 picks and 1 word? 4 picks, 1 word. Anyone?
I love that game.
What's that?
You're
And
given
also
4
invite-
pictures and you try to guess the word.
Yes,
Wait,
you're
we have
correct.
one of these again?
Okay, thank you for those reactions, guys. Yes, I guess everyone's ready, Mr. Carl.
Yes, Miss Christine, so tell us the mechanics.
Okay, our game is we will be presented with 4 pictures, and our task is to guess that specific word that fits the theme of the photos presented. So it's just a
Oh, I
very
know this game. I used to have this on my phone.
okay, that's great. Okay. Okay, so everyone's already oriented to how the game will be done. So guys, we will use our chat box for our answers. Are you guys ready? For every
Hello, Miss
word,
Christine, and to also
Yes.
add, Miss Christine.
yes,
Hello, Miss Christine, are you still there?
yes, yes, Mr.
Oh,
Carl.
shoot.
Oh,
Okay, yes,
okay.
Mr. Carl.
To also add, Miss Christine. Yes, they will see this line. So meaning to say they can only write their answers after the line.
Yes. So again, Mr.
So
Carl,
how much time are they given, Miss Christine, per category?
then for every word to guess, we will be given a minute. Am I correct, Mr.
Okay.
Carl? Okay, so are
Yes,
you
yes, Miss Christine, just a minute.
Okay, just a minute. So are you guys ready? Are your keyboards, your fingers ready? Okay. Okay. For this time, Dane, we only have a minute for every word to guess. So let's start with our first word.
All right. Oh, I think we got the correct answer now, Miss Christine.
Okay,
We got the first winner.
correct answer is
Wait
nature.
lang, let's wait for the others. Yes.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, so I guess the
All
first
right.
one, Cebu, representing Cebu.
Congratulations, Cebu.
Martina. Okay, we would also encourage everyone to rename yourselves first, your campus, and then followed by your real name. Okay, let's proceed, Mr. Carl, to the next word.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss Christine. Okay, let's go proceed to the next one. Okay, I'll place a line now. So congratulations, Martina.
Martina from Cebu campus. Okay, next word. Hmm. Okay, someone guessed the word. Okay. Oh, very quick, no?
Yeah, it's
So-
very obvious.
It's very obvious. So what's the correct word for this, Mr. Carl? It's
Okay, I think the others are still typing their answers, Miss Christine.
there's still
That
time.
triple. Christmas.
Okay, so the first
Three of everything. I love that.
the first
Okay, the second one is trees.
trees. So the first to get the right
Trees.
word is from Antipolo this time. We got the correct answer.
Oh yeah, go Antipolo.
Bea Bautista. Congratulations.
Oh, congratulations, Bea. Okay, so let's proceed to the next one. Let me put the line.
Okay, next. I see. Sun, there's heat, hot. Okay, hot. Global warming. Okay. Clue. It's just a word. One word lang. Okay.
Ang daming ideas, Miss Christine, no?
Oo, someone actually got the...
Nagkakaiba-iba yung sagot dito.
We're still waiting for the correct answer. No one got the correct answer yet. Oh, wait. I saw someone. Okay,
Somebody almost got the correct answer. Somebody got almost correct.
Oh, Mr. Carl, someone answered correctly from La Granja campus. Okay.
Wow. Wow. So the
Our
correct
correct answer is
climate.
climate.
So who's our winner, Miss Christine?
The first one to type in climate is Rory Valdevilla from La Granja. Congratulations.
Okay, Rory. Congratulations, Rory. Okay, the next one.
the line, Mr. Carl.
Oh yes, sorry, I forgot. Oops, wait.
Wait.
Somebody got the right answer already.
Okay. Good. Ah, okay. Someone. Yes, I'm just checking who gave the first correct. Okay, I think we got Steve from Cebu. Cebu. Okay, Mr. Carl, would you like to give the right answer?
Okay, let's reveal the correct answer. The correct answer is coal. Okay, Miss Christine,
Coal.
actually there's someone who answered right before the line.
Ay, okay.
Yeah, there's someone who wrote.
Okay, but a lot of
Wait,
people have already answered before the line was given.
yeah.
Mr.
Oh, it's
Carl.
from La Granja, Miss Christine.
La Granja. Okay.
Yeah, the name is Ronel.
Ah, yes.
Ronel de
from La
Silva.
Granja.
Ronel de Silva.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Ronel. Congratulations, La
Yeah.
Granja. Woohoo!
Okay. Next word.
Oh, wait, I forgot the line again. Wait.
I already
Oh, my.
put up Mr. Carl.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Miss
Bye.
Christine.
Okay. Ah. Got. Oh. We got wind, air. So what's the correct answer? Water. Okay. There's gas also.
We have energy. We have greenhouse gas,
Pressure.
pressure, atmosphere.
Pressure right now, Mr. Carl.
There's also wind.
Energy pump.
Yeah, there's also PSI.
Okay. Should we give the right answer now, Mr. Carl?
Yes, Miss Christine.
Okay, so the right answer.
Oh, someone who answered blow.
So the correct
The right answer is
air.
air.
Okay, who got the correct answer? First one to give air is from Antipolo. Okay, Antipolo from Elijah.
Whoa!
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Elijah.
Okay, ready
so
for the
let's
next word?
proceed to the next one. Oh, thank you.
Thank you,
Okay,
Gami.
thank you, Gami, for putting the line.
Thank you, Gami, for helping
Very
out.
supportive. Thanks, Gami.
Okay, next word. Ah. Someone said COVID. Okay, almost. The bacteria, germs, virus, bad stuff. Okay, bad stuff. Virus, corona. Okay. Infection, sickness, germs. Oh, I think we're waiting for the right answer. Okay, we got sneeze. Okay.
Someone said sickness, flu.
Okay, synonymous to
Germs.
sickness. So,
Oh, I
anyone
think
else?
we got the correct answer already, Miss Christine. I think we got the correct answer.
Okay. So who got the right answer, Mr. Carl? Health hazard.
Okay, let me double check. Green and gray. Germs. There's bacteria, germs.
Am I right, Mr.
Infection,
Carl?
sickness, germs.
Someone from Antipolo gave the right answer.
Yes, I think it's someone from Antipolo.
Okay. Did you coach these students, Mr. Carl? Most of the correct answers are coming from Antipolo.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Guys, walang leakage to guys.
Okay, so the correct answer is Mr. Carl.
Okay, the correct answer is
Disease.
disease.
Okay, so congratulations to Rain Santa Maria from Antipolo campus. Okay, next word, Mr.
Congratulations, Rain.
Double na. Okay, next. Yes.
Eto, masyadong obvious to, Miss Christine.
Yeah, I think everyone got, well, a lot of people actually got the right answer. Okay, so
Yeah.
let's give them the correct word, Mr. Carl. Correct answer.
Okay, the correct word is pollution.
Okay, so congratulations to...
So
I
who
must
got the
say,
correct
if a
answer there,
car's
Miss Christine? Who's the first one?
exhaust is that black, there's something clearly wrong with your engine if a car's exhaust is that black.
Okay, Nathan. Okay, yeah. Great eyes for observation, Nathan. Okay, so the right answer is pollution. And congratulations, dude. Oh, how do you say the name? IBN Rafi Ras Gonzalez Lidasan from Davao campus. Congratulations.
Woohoo! Congratulations, Davao Campus. What's the name again, Miss Christine?
Help me say the name
That's the
again.
first name. Just the first name.
Rafi.
Oh, we
Yes.
just okay. Rafi, congratulations, Rafi.
Okay, next word. This one. Geography. Okay.
Okay, let's hope someone will get this. Will guess this right.
Chemistry. Water, world, geography. Yes. Waiting for the right answer.
Ice Age.
Okay, Ice Age.
Matter.
Okay.
Global warming, atmosphere, alien invasion. May alien invasion ba?
Okay.
Chemistry, North Hemisphere, carbon, drip,
Marco,
ice,
the right word.
social
starts-
studies and science.
Social studies, huh? Okay.
Oh, I think nobody got it right yet.
Waiting for the right word. Okay. Okay, other guesses?
Change.
from
Somebody said change. Geography. Okay, so let's reveal the correct answer.
It's
The correct answer here is state.
state.
So some of you guys answered matter. Others said change. Change of state or the state of matter.
So let's
Okay,
proceed
so-
this time to the next word.
Oh, last two, Miss Christine.
Okay. Next up, we have okay, do we count the one with the suffix, Mr. Carl? Or should we really
Renewable.
wait for the right word? Okay. We got thunder,
Ang dami nagsasabi ng energy,
light,
electricity, weather, light, thunder, power.
Thor. Okay. Electricity, energy, global warming. We got light, energy. Ones mention almost the right answer, no, Mr. Carl?
Yes, Miss
I
Christine.
just have to drop the suffix.
Yeah. So do we consider? Do we consider?
Should we?
What do you think? Yeah, I think
Okay.
so. I think it's fair enough. It's super close. Oh, we got the correct answer, Miss Christine. Finally, the correct answer is electric.
Yes, congratulations.
So from Lagana,
You got our
congratulations
cues,
to Venice.
Okay,
Congratulations, Venice.
Venice from
Wow, that was so
Laguna.
quick. That was so quick.
Yes, and we're down to our last word.
Last one. Yes, last word.
Ready? Okay, what's our last word? Okay. Oh,
Oh, I think somebody got the correct answer already.
yes. Okay, this time, let's check. From which campus? Oy, naku ha, Mr. Carla.
Ay, ay, ay! Hindi, dapat tama yung spelling, Miss Christine. Dapat tama yung spelling.
Yeah.
Oo, dapat tama yung spelling. Hindi pwedeng may mali.
Okay. We should check our typing. Sige, Mr. Carl.
Grabe, very competitive.
Yes, yes. So, are we ready to announce the winner? Who got the right word?
Okay, the correct word is weather.
Weather. Okay, so you call the winner for this word, Mr. Carl.
Okay, so the winner for this word is we need to consider the correct spelling, guys. Oh, it's still from Antipolo. Okay, it's still from Antipolo. Congratulations to Sarah. Congratulations, Sarah.
And thank you everyone for participating in our
Yes,
short.
thank you, everyone.
Thank you. So, Mr.
Yes,
Carl,
thank you so
what's
much.
next?
So, thank you so much, Miss Christine, for assisting the game. I hope you guys had some fun. So we will now proceed to our main agenda. So we are so honored this afternoon to be given an opportunity to have this person to have as our special guest. Her topic is about media. So who is this person? Okay. So our guest speaker for this afternoon is Heidi Santos de Maisip. She's a former broadcast journalist. She worked for IBC 13, ABS-CBN, ABC5, Solar News Channel, which is now CNN Philippines. And she has hosted different television programs such as Taas Noo Bagong Bulakenyo in Channel 4, Vents 5 in ABC5, Business and Leisure in Solar Sports Channel. She's also a freelance event host, storyteller for Adarna Publications. And she has worked as an advocacy manager for Manila Water, developed a water and environment appreciation program, crafted and implemented public relations initiatives for its stakeholders, hosted for a number of knowledge channel programs. She's also a preschool teacher. She's a wife, a mom of 2. So, my dear adolescents, help me welcome Miss Heidi Santos de Maisip. Heidi, are you there?
Yes, hi. Hello, Carl. Hi, everyone. Can you see me?
Yes. Yes, we can.
All right. Thank you
Hello,
very much.
miss.
First of all, I'd like to thank you for inviting me to be here. I miss my kids. Are you here? Yeah, I also
By the way,
thought-
guys, Miss Heidi used to be yeah. Yes, Heidi, go ahead.
Yes, I've taught for Abbas. I think for the past 3 years, I handled 3 batches of senior high school, right? And
Right.
Nina, while you were playing Kahoot, I was trying to look for my students, but I couldn't seem to find them. Are you there? Give me a shout out. Adrian.
I'm here, Miss. Hello.
Carlo. Hello. All right. Okay.
Hello.
So most probably my topic here, my topic for today, I've shared with my students before from last semester, because from time to time I try to inculcate issues about the environment in our topic. So feel free to butt in, okay, to comment, guys, if you want to share something. All right. Today's topic is close to my heart. I've as a reporter before, I've had the chance to cover stories about the environment, although not that much because I was assigned to cover military stories for the most part of my career as a journalist. But I've had my a few share of covering environmental news, and later on I will show you how I was able to do it back then during my time when there was still no internet available for us to use, and how privileged you are, guys, now that you have a buffet of different media platforms to use. All right, so Allow me to share my screen now. Okay, so there you go. Can you see it? I titled my presentation Media and the Environment Working Towards a Sustainable Future. Okay, first, tell me, what does media mean to you? Okay, I just need 3 short answers. Feel free. When you hear the word media or when you see it spelled out in front of you, what definition or picture comes to mind when you say media?
A page.
Okay, another one, a page, another one,
Entertainment.
entertainment. All right, that's good.
An article.
News article. All right, those are correct answers. But later on, you'll find out that those media is not limited to those definitions. So what is media? To simplify it, media came from the Latin word middle. Ibig sabihin nasa gitna, all right? If it's in the middle, there's something here and there's something there. Okay, nasa gitna siya. It's a bridge that connects information to the people and vice versa. Okay, it connects us, the people, to information. And nowadays, media is considered as the main means of communication, especially now that we're living in a pandemic. Imagine if there's no media for us to use, sana kaya tayo pinulot, all right? It has become so vital in our existence, and we've learned that fact right now as we experience living inside our homes, unable to go out and communicate physically with the world. Right now, during my time, these are the forms of media that we were privileged to use. Newspapers. When I was young, we used to have subscriptions to newspapers. There's newspaper boy who will come to our house and give us our paper early in the morning. Kasabay siya sa breakfast namin. I don't know if you still do it or if you've experienced having this newspaper subscriptions. Anyone? Siguro yung mga ka-age ko lang, like sina Carl, yan, di ba? Nagrarasyon ng dyaryo sa bahay niyo tuwing umaga. And that is our first dose of information of what's going on locally and in the world. Newspapers. Also, we have this. It's called a radio. Okay? Meron pa bang gumagamit sa inyo nito? Or are your houses equipped with this? May ganito pa ba kayo? So maybe sa bahay ng mga lola nyo, mga tita nyo, you've seen this one. This radio has 2 stations, FM and AM. Okay, if you tune into the FM station, there you will hear music, contemporary music. There's a DJ who introduces the music and do some ad-libs about it. And the other, yung ibang station naman niya, it's called AM. Okay, in the AM station, that is where we listen to news. Okay, and radio dramas also. Okay, the drama series that we come to know of via the television and Netflix before. During my time when I was young, nagagawa siya sa radio, okay? Right, and of course, before that, information or messages are transported by the radio, there's a radio station kung saan there's a DJ who works. And may mga equipment nun, binabasa niya yung news, binabasa niya yung articles, and it gets transported there. So that's how people used to do it back then. And of course, television. This is a picture of a classic television back in the 1950s.
Oh, God.
Oh, God, yes. But, you know, if you happen to find one existing television like this right now, it's sobrang vintage. It's going to be so expensive, okay? So this is our major means of communication. If you have this one in your home, sobrang privileged ka na. You're considered one of the elites. Mayaman ka if you have a television set inside your house. Okay, but fast forward to now, okay? We've seen how media has evolved. I've heard someone say, oh God, when nakita niya yung black and white television. Yes, really, because wala, you know, those years parang flew by in ang bilis niya. So much has happened. The evolution of media has presented us with numerous platforms na sometimes we don't even know what to use anymore. Sa dami na pwede nating gamitin. Right? News now can be accessed digitally. You don't need a newspaper boy to come to your house. You don't need to pay for a newspaper subscription. All right? News is delivered to you anytime, anywhere for free if you have an internet connection. Okay, so you can access it anywhere. If you have laptop, desktop, if you have a phone, you can easily access any. Just type in the news platform that you would like to read from. Rappler, Inquirer, Philippine Star, New York Times, lahat nandun na. Even searching for the topics that you want to know about. May narinig ka, oh, this has been trending, ito yung nangyayari, just type it in. It's very easy for us to access what's going on with the numerous mobile applications, like I've said kanina, that has been made available for all of us. I mean, who doesn't have a cell phone nowadays, diba? Minsan nga, it doesn't matter anymore if you don't have a laptop, a tablet, or a desktop. If you have a phone, you're ready to go. You're already armed with everything that you need to know locally and out there, right? And of course, social media has made our lives so easy in terms of communicating. These things have led us to this fact that media has become the primary source for creating and receiving information. Right. With that, it has been a platform of creating news, current events, entertainment, education, business, advertisement, opinions, and of course, advocacies and campaigns. And lately, during the past year, when all the world, was affected by the pandemic, advocacies and campaigns rose up. Dumami. The groups wanted really to be heard, to instigate change, to do something, to help, rose up with the help of media. It has become a platform for spreading and raising awareness for several important issues. And right now, one of the most pressing and important issues that we are faced is environmental issues. Okay. Environmental issues has, one fact is that over the years, it has taken a backseat in terms of focus and attention. Nations and governments all over the world, not just us, are guilty of this. Hindi natin siya priority. The environment has never been our priority. Minsan, if tinamaan ng natural disaster ang isang lugar, and then it will experience a height of awareness. Okay, let's stop throwing our garbage improperly. Let's stop cutting our trees. But then, pag gumanda na ulit yung panahon, makakalimutan na. Alright? It will take the backseat once again. And everyone is guilty of this. Not just the government, not just the leaders, not just implementers, but more so us. The planet is dying. We all know this. Our environment is in danger. We all know this. We are in danger. Do we know it? Alam ba natin yung extent of the danger that has been imposed upon our environment? Taylor and Francis, a London-based research firm, wrote this in one of their research articles. They said that while it is becoming increasingly evident that environmental problems such as climate change and global warming constitute existential threats to human societies, these problems will very likely persist and even intensify unless governments enact effective and potentially costly environmental policies. However, take note of this, government policies and spending ultimately rely on public support, thus underscoring the need to increase present knowledge about the processes underlying citizens' policy issues. I highlighted public support. Who's the public? Whose support do governments have to rely on? Who is the public? It's us. It's you and me. It's everyone who's here. No matter what age you are, where you live, what nationality you are, what financial capacity you have, what educational background you have, you are the public. You live on planet Earth. Ibig sabihin, you are responsible for it. But we often think that it is only the government's role to protect the environment, right? How governments treat and manage environmental awareness also rely on how we, the public, respond to issues affecting the government. We are always quick to blame the government and other people kasi ang iniisip natin, sila lang naman yung nakakaalam. They have the power. They have the funds. They have the power to create laws, implement laws. But we are quickly forgetting that at the end of that, It doesn't matter how many environmental laws we have. It doesn't matter if walang susunod, if no one will support it, if no one will take it seriously. And that is why it relies largely on our support. And that will lead us to this realization. We as public have a powerful tool at our disposal. And we can use this tool to respond to issues affecting our environment. Now, what is this powerful tool? Anyone? What is this powerful tool that we're talking about? It's
The media.
Yes, it's the media. Media has a significant role to play in creating environmental issues, but it needs to have users, okay? Media creates, it informs, but at the end of the line, may receiver siya, which is us. And how we use the information created by media, specifically for environmental awareness, it's up to us, okay? In the recent years, we have seen the effects of environment degradation all over the world. Hindi lang dito sa atin. And recently, di ba, parang ang dami-dami sabay-sabay. For our country alone, last year, we started with what? The Taal volcano eruption. And then lahat na, di ba? And then year before that, massive flooding. Every year na lang may baha sa Pilipinas. And because of media, because of the accessibility of knowing what goes on in other countries, nakita natin na, hey, it's not just happening here in our own soil. It's happening all over the world. The environment is crying out. It needs help. Okay? We have been introduced to the terms climate change, global warming. It's been thrown around casually. Okay? Napakadami ng mga webinars about it. Napakadami ng mga campaigns launched about it. Okay? It's so easy to go out there and protest, be there present, but pag uwi mo sa bahay mo, ano na? Okay? It stops there na. Does our understanding go beyond that definition? Now, how do we ensure that we really understand what environmental conservation is? We need to be able to know that media is at the palm of our hands. We can use it at our disposal. By knowing the role of media in creating environmental awareness, we can be empowered na, hey, I can do this. I can be a part of a society, of a community, which can use media, empower others, and empower myself to create change and instill action. The role of media in environmental conservation makes use of its several platforms. First and foremost, to inform the public of the true state of the environment degradation. Tama naman, di ba? Where else can we learn? Paano natin malalaman na bumabaha na pala sa ganitong lugar, na may mga destructions na nangyayari, there, sickness, all of these issues affecting our environment? It's the media that has the power to inform us. Okay, once we are informed, we become aware. Okay, we become aware of what's going on. Nalalaman natin. Okay, hindi na tayo ignorant. Alam na natin. Now, after awareness come appreciation, because we already know. We start to appreciate what we have. Oh my gosh, parang I am so blessed that God has created this wonderful planet, everything provided for. I have the sun, I have the moon and stars at night, I have trees, I have oxygen, I have flowers, I have animals, everything provided for. I can live for a number of years, okay? There's water. But then, because we have been made aware, appreciation also comes to a point na, but the planet is dying. There's so many problems confronting. Will I still have this kind of environment when I go to this age? When I get married, pag nagkaanak ba ako, ganito pa rin ba yung planet nila? That's how appreciation, it changes. When you become aware of what's going on out there, you come to appreciate what you have. And when you come to appreciate what you have, you will have that urge to take care of it, diba? When you have something so precious to you, you take care of it. You do not want any harm to come to it. And that is how action happens. Mag-a-act ka na. Okay? It will spur you to action. Hey, I need to do something. I need to ensure that I still have a planet to live in the next 10 years, in the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years. All right. in the 1990s, there's this cartoon series, an American cartoon series called Captain Planet and the Planeteers. All right, it's a series featuring Captain Planet as an environmentalist superhero. Ba? I've
My
seen
dad used to watch that. My dad
What?
loved that TV show.
Really, I did too. Grab. I think it was
I
shown.
also I watched some episodes of that also.
That
Good.
guy,
Me too.
that
I
guy
remember that.
crossover in one of the more recent cartoons this
I
year.
actually, I still remember the theme song
Really,
of it.
can you share? Can you share? You want to sing it?
No, thank you.
All right. I'm glad that
There is actually one show that's gonna get remixed.
really.
There was a show that got remixed in the 90s. Yes, it's actually airing in GMA. It's called
Right.
Voltes 5.
Oh
My
yes,
mom watched
everybody.
it when she was
Yes.
very young. She knew every name. She knows the song a bit. But mostly she watches the Tagalog dub. I
I
actually like it, but
I
I
can totally
mostly
relate.
watch the ending.
Yes. Good
It's
for
very
you.
nice.
Good for you. You know, during our time, there are a lot of really, really good cartoon series that has substance. You know, it speaks about real life also in an animated way. And this is one of them. Now, I really hope that we get to make more of this, especially now. I've seen some episodes of this in YouTube already. So there you go. That's Captain Planet and the Planeteers. All right. And this one of my favorites also is Planet Earth. I don't know if you've seen this. It's a documentary, original documentary by BBC. It showcases our wonderful planet. You know, after seeing this, remember I mentioned about appreciation. You would really come to appreciate and feel so blessed that God has blessed us with this home, one and only home called Planet Earth. And of course, this one, an inconvenient truth, this is my awakening. All right. I think I can say it's my rude awakening to what's really going on. And after I've watched this, I was speechless. Sobra kong natakot, grateful, mixed emotions. Like, I feel ashamed. I feel ashamed because I knew right then and there na I haven't been doing my part as a steward, you know, as a citizen of this planet. Hindi, wala pa akong ginagawa. And after this, I've let my children watch it, and I wanted to show them, see, parang it's really serious. The planet is dying. And in this documentary was aired in early 2000s pa. And right now we're 2021. Have we seen improvements? I yes, Nathan.
Oh, I just actually wanted to know that that is actually a counter argument to this other the other documentary titled "A Convenient Lie." Basically, it talks about how global warming is fake, and it's a fake, and it's actually and the rising temperatures actually because of something to do with the sun. But that was debunked by this and a few other studies.
That's right. That's right, Nathan. I've seen it too. And you know what? Thank you for mentioning that. It's
really infuriating.
That's true, you know. And that is one disadvantage of media that I want to explain to you for a bit. We have to be discerning since we have, like I said earlier, we have already a buffet of so many media platforms already for us to use. We have to develop that discernment to know which are true, which are facts, and which are absolutely lies. So, and we have to be really careful what we read, what we watch, and what we share. All right. So thank you for that. Now, here in our shores, we have
Oh, I remember
the
this.
show Matang Lawin. Nanonood ba kayo ng Matang Lawin?
It used to show ABS-CBN.
Yes.
Most of us I can't
Pero
understand.
wala na siya ngayon kasi wala na ABS-CBN. But let's pray that they come up with ways para ma-broadcast pa din ito because it's really educational, especially for young people. And it's
I remember watching a specific episode. Not very sure it's about snakes. Not very sure.
yes,
But I think
because the
it's
host
about snakes.
yeah, I think you're right because the host Kuya Kim Atienza is a known environmental champion and he loves animals. In fact, in his private home, may mini zoo siya with everything that you and some animals that you can possibly find in our zoos here. So that's matanglawin for you. an environmental resource. And of course, we have G Diaries. I don't know if you've seen this. It's still airing. It used to be, it was used to be hosted by Miss Gina Lopez when she was alive. She's also a known a staunch advocate for the environment, especially for her anti-mining efforts. And she is a true environmental champion. In fact, she was appointed as environment secretary, but was never but was never confirmed. But it doesn't matter because when she was alive, ang dami niyang nagawa for the environment in her efforts. It's still airing, hosted by her brother now. And this one I really like, Dayaw. Okay, if you have a chance, do watch it because it really showcases our beautiful nature dito sa Pilipinas. And after watching it, you will be compelled to really be proud na I have this rich culture, I have this rich heritage. I want to protect it. I want to do something about it. It's hosted by Senator Lauren Legarda, also one of our environmental champions in the country. Right? So these television shows, they aim to inform. Okay, they have been very successful in informing. This is what we have, and this is what's going on. This is what needs to be done. After informing, it has inspired so many people, inspired so many groups to be formed in order to move towards the conservation of our environment. It moved to involve everybody. See how effective media has become in this aspect. It has informed, it has inspired, it has involved a lot of people. But we are not limited to these shows alone, okay? Various online platforms are already in place and ready to use. Okay, these are some of logos of environmental groups that we now have locally and globally. WWF and Greenpeace have local presence here in our country. And if you're in social media all the time, and if you've been following environmental groups, you will see them actively posting, creating advocacies and new campaigns every month that are geared towards the conservation of the environment. But again, guys, media cannot do it alone. The success of any campaign eventually lies in the response it gets from the public. And who's the public again? The public is us. It's you and me. We need to be advocates. What does it mean to be an advocate? You need to be an advocate. First, you have to believe, okay, in the advocacy. After believing in the advocacy, you have to be involved, okay? It has to show in your lifestyle. Kailangan makita na yung belief mo, yung paniniwalaan mo na kailangan kong pangalagaan ang kapaligiran, ang kalikasan. I need to protect the environment. It's the only home I have. Baliwala, it doesn't matter if I have the biggest house, if I live in comfort, if I have all this luxury. It doesn't matter if your big houses will not have a planet anymore, okay? So we all go back to the most important fact. We need to take care of our bigger home first. Okay, we need to be advocates. It has to be manifested in the way we live our lives. Our participation should go beyond watching, reading, or even sharing information about environmental issues. Okay? Hindi rin natatapos. Nagbasa ka, ni-like mo, you put a heart to it, nag-comment ka, go, 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 good job, awesome. And then after that, wala na. It has to go beyond that. You have to be actively involved. You have to act, physically move, do something, say something. Our awareness has to manifest into action. All right, now let me tell you one success story of how a private company in the Philippines was able to effectively use media to successfully launch and sustain its campaign on environmental conservation. Okay, a few years back, I was blessed to have worked with Manila Water. Okay, I'm sure some of you here are Manila Water customers, right? If you live in the east zone of Metro Manila, then your water is being provided by Manila Water. If you live in the west zone of Metro Manila, your water provider is Maynilad. Two different providers, guys. It gets often mixed up. So if you're in the east zone, like Antipolo is Manila Water area. Okay, right. I was privileged to create a campaign called Toka Toka Tayo para sa malinis na ilog. All right? So what does Toka Toka mean? What does it mean? Okay. It's a Filipino strict language that referred to parang anong sagot mo? Toka, anong sagot mo? In English, what is your contribution? Okay. Example, you're going to a party, a potluck party, and then tatanungin ka ng teacher mo, anong toka mo? Ibig sabihin, what is your contribution? What are you going to bring? Right? So ano ang toka mo para sa malinis na ilog? In English, what is your contribution to have clean rivers? Okay? The campaign aims to be personalized. It aims to speak to individuals, not groups, not corporations, but isa-isa, individuals, young and old alike, and ask them, compel them to think, what can I contribute to ensure cleaner rivers? Okay? And it focuses on wastewater. Okay, just a very, very brief explanation, guys. Wastewater is water that we have already used for cleaning. Hugas ka ng pinggan, naghugas ka ng kamay, naglaba ka, bathing, pinagliguan mo, and yes, toilet water. Okay? All used water or dirty water goes straight to the river. Okay? But under the Manila Water Campaign, Toka Toka para sa malinis na ilog, we empowered individuals to have 4 ownable acts. Ibig sabihin, ownable, kayang-kayang gawin ng bawat isa. Okay, first is solid waste segregation. You do that. Nakikita ko yan. When I was teaching in Abbas, Antipolo, nakita ko yan, how they really follow this one. Dislodging our septic tanks every 5 to 7 years. You know our septic tanks where all our toilet water goes to? You need to have it dislodged. Okay, call Manila Water if you're a customer, patanggal mo lahat yan. Okay? Connecting to a sewer line. These sewer lines are pipes attached under your homes, communities, and it leads to a wastewater treatment plant wherein they clean your used water, your dirty water, before they put it back to the river. Ibig sabihin, when it goes back to the river, it's clean already. It will not cause pollution or add pollution anymore to what is there. And third and fourth, educating the community. All right? Now, this program has been successful because we made use of different forms of media to make our campaign known. Kung hindi namin gagamitin ng media, kami-kami lang makakaalam sa company. All right? No one else will know. The families of the employees will know, but then again, it stops there. So we thought, how do we make it, into a nationwide awareness? Okay, we made use of media. We made use of newspapers. We sent out articles. Okay, we sent out essays about it. We wrote to magazines. We featured articles. We conducted presentations in schools, in local governments. Nakipag-usap kami sa mga mayors, congressmen, city councilors. We went to movie houses. And naging short advertisement yung campaign. We made use of several media platforms to make our campaign for the river known, to raise awareness. And we got Kuya Kim. Kumuha kami ng media personality who is a known environmentalist to be our brand ambassador. Okay, it's one way of making use of media and has been very effective because yung the personality of Kuya Kim is fit for the campaign. He loves the environment. He's an advocate for it, and he speaks truth whenever he presents to the public. And so because of that, our campaign led to action. Okay, we conducted tree planting activities, waterway cleanups, and dislodging caravans. So these are just some photos of how the campaign, when we use media for it, led to action. Hindi siya natigil sa awareness and appreciation. It led to action. Right. These are just some of the photos where we conducted waterway cleanups, tree planting activities, and we went from school to school in the East Zone of Metro Manila. We conducted trainings, presentations, and we showed educational videos, again with the use of media, to make known what is our campaign all about and why do we care so much for the safety of our rivers. Right? And so, to end my short presentation today, I'd like to ask you this. If you've been following, what is your toka? Ano ang toka mo? How can you use media to raise environmental awareness? How can you contribute to the conservation of your environment? Okay, it's not it's your environment also. You have to own it. Okay, paano mo gagamitin ang media to raise environmental awareness? That's a food for thought for all of you. Okay, as we end this and you go on with your day-to-day activities, I pray that it will stay here. Isipin nyo, little things can make a difference. Yes, Nathan.
Well, in my opinion, one of the things, this is just my personal opinion, okay? I'm not saying this is right in any way. One thing I've noticed is that there are a lot of um, uh, things explaining what we should not do, but there's not really a lot of things explaining what we should do. Like, do I just stop using plastic altogether? Do I just recycle plastic? Do I bring my own grocery bags? What do I do? If instead of answering those questions, in most cases I've noticed it's mostly just don't throw stuff in the ocean and stuff like that. It's mostly just what not to do.
Yes, thank you for that insight. Maybe what you can do, if you're on social media now, what you can do, there are a lot of environmental organizations, both locally and internationally, who have Facebook pages and Instagram accounts that discuss those kinds of questions. And also there are a lot of webinars that you can join. All you need to do is to like those pages, search for the right environmental group that is fit for you and for your age, of course, and then see if it speaks to you, see if the advocacy is something that you as a student can participate in, and then they're open for questions like that, and maybe that is something that you can do in order to know more. Okay, all right, does anybody have a question or anything that you would like to share, any insights or learnings that you've had?
All right, Miss Heidi.
Yes, Carl.
Okay. All right, Heights, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Nate
Okay,
Plando
first
is...
of all, I would like to thank you.
Yes,
Hello?
that's me. Yes, that's me,
Yeah.
Miss AD. Um,
Okay.
when
Yes, Nate.
when you were still I can speak.
Yes, Nate.
Okay, so when you
Yes,
were
go, Nate. Yes, Nate.
okay, so when you were still a kapamilya, were there times that you attended seminars with Gina Lopez?
Oh,
During your
no. I wasn't with ABS-CBN anymore at that time. I was after ABS-CBN, I transferred to Channel 5.
Mm.
I didn't have the privilege of knowing her
All
personally.
right, thank you so much.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay, so thank you so much, Miss Heidi, for your sharing. I love the idea of giving us back the time when everything we got was just a radio and some tabloids. So, thank you also for encouraging us to become advocates. And to become an advocate, we have to believe and we have to be involved. So we would like to take this time now to have our open forum. So, Miss Heidi, you're still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so we have here some few questions for you to answer, because one of the goals we have for the Erdkinder is to be able to use media to make this environmental project campaigns. So if media has become primary source of information, what do you think is the most helpful platform? So is it Facebook or YouTube? Do the adolescents make their own videos? What do you think is the most effective media platform now that they can use?
All of those that you mentioned, Carl, are the most effective. Social media is the most effective media tool that we can use, that we can utilize to empower our youth into really taking a stand for environmental conservation. There's so many things that you can do with it. Create a video and then upload it, and then in a minute, ang dami nang ma-reach. I mean, the possibilities are really endless. So make responsible use of social media, use it in the right way. And if everybody can use it in the right way, so much power. Grabe, di ba kanina na-mention ko, it's really a powerful tool. And anything ganun ka-powerful also poses danger. Nakakatakot din. That's why, first and foremost, we need to be responsible users of media. If we can learn how to use it in the right way, you can do so many things for so many good causes. And one of them is the environment.
Okay, thank you very much. You mentioned that all those platforms can be used to spread awareness, especially for the environment. My question is, how do you think we can, how can we be sure, or how do we make sure our work becomes sustainable? What do you think is the best thing to do to make it sustainable?
You have to be consistent. You have to be consistent in a way. Remember, kanina sa presentation, I mentioned that awareness and appreciation doesn't stop at that. You need to put it into action. You need to nurture it. When you appreciate something, you become an active participant in taking care of it. Diba? For example, a plant. Diba? In the pandemic, ang daming mga so many people have gotten into gardening, planting, all right, and nurturing. Okay, it's like that. Okay, if you really believe in something in your heart and in your mind, your soul, alam mo na naniniwala ka in the advocacy that we need to protect our environment. And why won't you? Kasi di ba, it's your world, it's your home. The way you take care of your home, nililinisan mo siya. Hindi lang isang beses parate, regularly. Pinupunasan mo ng alikabok, nililinis mo, winawalisan mo. You have to be consistent. Okay? You have to be diligent. That is how you are able to sustain something. You have to always be on top of it, 2 steps ahead of it parate. Okay? You get up in the morning and you say, I'm going to do it. Following day, sabihin mo ulit, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. That's how you sustain something. You never stop. Okay? You have to be consistent. The kind of effort you put into something at the start, di ba? It's very common na magaling lang tayo sa umpisa when we are excited. Okay? I believe in this effort. I'm going to put in everything. And then pag nag-die down na yung excitement, wala na. Nakakalimutan na. So let's not fall into that kind of trap. We need to motivate ourselves, empower ourselves. So how do we do it? How do you continuously inspire yourself? Magbasa kayo. Okay? When you use your social media, make sure na yung mga binabasa ninyo inspiring. Okay? Mag-like kayo ng mga environmental organizations. Ang dami-dami. Greenpeace, WWF, climate change action, lahat. Tingnan nyo, magbasa kayo ng mga articles, manood kayo ng mga video. That's how you try to empower and motivate yourself. Okay?
Okay, thank you very much, Miss Heidi, for that answer. Oh, we have, okay, someone sent a question. Okay, let me read the question. Okay, hold on. Okay, here. Sophia Uy from La Granja asked this question. Is it true that the production of paper leaves a larger carbon print than plastic? It is said that paper packaging isn't necessarily more eco-friendly.
Yes, in a way, because where do leaves come from? Di ba? Sa trees. Gagamit tayo ng puno. We will be using trees for that. So I guess that answers your question na it is potentially harmful to the environment as well. Okay? Right now, issues concerning our environment, climate change, global warming, it's not a problem anymore. I mean, it's a situation. Okay? It's there already. And the best that we can do is to mitigate the effects. Okay? We cannot undo the damage done anymore. It's here already. Okay? As early as the 1900s, may effect na. Okay? And what the best that we can do right now, especially with the knowledge that we have, with the many platforms available for us, we can make use of this to mitigate. When we say mitigate, pipigilan nating lumala pa. All right? And that is the best that we can do for now.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Heidi, for answering that question. Sophia has a follow-up question. She's asking, how can businesses package their products better if not plastic? Just your thoughts.
Okay, there was this webinar that I hosted, and I invited my students there. I think it was 2 months ago. That question was raised, okay? And then one of the panelists said that one of the things that they did, I think, ano siya, Norwegian, I think, or Dutch. One of the things that they do back there is to like minimizing the use of plastic and the amount of plastic that you throw by bringing your own stuff. Okay, like for example, you want to buy water. Okay, when you go to the water station, you don't buy the water inside their container. You bring your own container, refill. Okay, refilling station. When you buy dishwashing soaps, dishwashing liquids, shampoos, okay, they do that there. And in my daughter's school before, they used to have this fair yearly when they try to practice and inculcate that way of bringing your own plastic containers for something like cooking oil. Okay, when you buy cooking oil, bring your own container, bottle, a bottle container. If you want to buy conditioner, shampoo, bring your own container. That is one way that you can avoid more plastics, the usage of more plastics.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss Heidi, for that very practical suggestion. So I think, guys, I think what Miss Heidi is saying is we have to keep some of the containers we have and then just reuse them, reuse, recycle, reduce, reuse, and recycle. Okay, we have another question here. Okay, thank you again, Sophia, for asking your questions. How can we reduce the cost of producing paper packaging? Is it possible? Do you think it's possible?
Don't buy, I think. I think that's the only way. As a consumer, I mean, also as a mom, practically speaking, you also have to be discerning of your consumption, the things that you buy, I mean, when I buy this, am I contributing to the conservation or the degradation of the environment? You always have to keep that in mind, okay? Here in our house, we've been practicing dutifully the bring your bags anywhere, whether we go to the drugstore, anything, kahit sari-sari store, just to minimize the use of plastic. And also just recently, we've started cutting the, your face mask, diba? It has, ano bang tawag doon, you cut it. It's because we saw this video from an environmental group that it's really dangerous for sea creatures. Sorry, nag-drift na yung response ko, but again,
It's okay.
Going back, minimize paper usage. You minimize buying anything that makes use of paper. Yun. Ngayon, di ba, online classes, I've proven this na cut down yung use namin ng paper. We don't print that much anymore. When we write, we just type it sa tablet, sa gadgets namin, or in May when I conduct my class, whiteboard, erasable, lahat, no? And I think kahit ganong kaliit lang, it has contributed. It doesn't matter how big or small. Ang importante, may ginagawa ka. Okay?
Exactly. Thank you very much, Miss Heidi. I also remembered we once invited a speaker, the name of Mr. Yeb Sanyo. He mentioned that yes, we may want to change the situation environmentally, but we cannot change everything at the same time.
Yes.
So what we can do is we can save one starfish at a time. So meaning to say we can only hit one thing at a time. And we would like to appreciate your thoughts and your suggestions that you're giving to the adolescents. I have another question here, Miss Heidi. What do you think are the top three things we can do as a community to make people aware about the concerns regarding the environment?
When you say community, the school community?
Yes.
All right. Okay, first, this one is what you're doing now is one. Okay, conducting activities like this, all right? It's one. You need to be united as a community, as a school, and you need to be informed, okay? It's very important that you are all in the same page. Lahat nakakaintindi. Okay, you understand one thing, and then it inspires you in the same way. It's very important, okay, na you believe in the same cause. Number two, put it into action. Nakita ko naman when I was studying, when I was teaching in Abas Antipolo, how you really included the environment in most of your hands-on activities. Just continue doing it. It's hard now kasi, di ba, we can't go out. I mean, we can't physically do things, and it's a struggle because if you really want to do something, you have to be out there, di ba? That was, you know, our past normal. But right now, make use of the opportunity to do things online. Okay, conduct a webinar. Okay, agree upon a topic that is timely and a topic that is fit for your age, for everyone, yung doable. Because sometimes people get intimidated with yung mga grand ideas. Okay, try to simplify things. Okay, what can I do at this age in the setting that I am in? Okay, and how can I practically use it? Okay, so yun. Start crafting campaigns that you can use in a simplified, doable. Parang yung ginawa namin sa Manila Water, we broke it down into 4 doable acts. Okay, doable, ibig sabihin, kayang gawin ng bawat isa. Segregate your waste, di ba? Remind your parents, when was the last time you've dislodged our septic tank? Kasi if it doesn't get dislodged, mag-leak yan. When it gets leaked, the dirty water as is, di ba, the ones that you flush down your toilet, it goes straight to the river, polluting it even more. And then if you don't have a septic tank, and if your community has a sewer network already, tell your parents, let's connect to a sewer line. Yung ganun. And then those practical tips, okay? And then the last one is to act upon it. Create a Facebook page, create an IG account of your advocacy. And from there, you sustain it. You post things that could inspire others. You post your accomplishments, create videos. Like I said kanina, the possibilities are endless.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss Heidi. Okay, we have other questions here. By the way, just to reiterate what Miss Heidi mentioned earlier, number 1 is conduct awareness campaigns, just like what we're doing now. Maybe aside from just doing it here around the school, maybe we can go outside of the Abbas Orchard community. Number 2, be hands-on. So be simple and make your work doable. So smart, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. So later, guys, that's going to be part of the activities we will be doing. And then number 3 is we have to act on it. So planning, the goals will remain as goals, will remain as dreams, unless we will do something about them. Okay, so we have another question here, Miss Heidi. What happens when we run out of alternatives? From my experience, in things like technology and the arts, alternatives are always viable. They last forever. You cannot run out of a genre. You cannot run out of software. In this situation, resources are finite, or at least at the pace we're going. But again, the main question is, what happens when we run out of alternatives?
You go back to the basic, okay? You go back to the basic. If it's possible, ano bang alternative when it comes to saving the environment? Is that it?
Yes.
Environment. Okay, go back to the basics. How did our forefathers did it? Okay, how did they take care of the environment? Okay, use less, consume less. Okay, magtipid tayo sa kuryente. Okay, let's not buy too much kung hindi naman kailangan. Huwag tayong bumili. These are practical things na ginagawa na dati pa, but nakalimutan natin because of the changing world. I mean, so there's so much commercialism out there na kahit hindi natin kailangan, binibili natin, and it just adds up to the pile of trash that gets thrown out there, and that eventually degrades our environment. Needing more, wanting more than we need, okay, hurts our environment. Okay, that's why trees are cut down, because more people like to build kahit hindi naman talaga kailangan. Okay, so going back to basics, I guess is my best answer to that. When everything was so simple, Okay? When we didn't have any of this problem, okay? Kung sama-sama lahat, you know the Earth Hour effort done yearly. Ginagawa niyo ba yun sa bahay niyo?
Yes.
Ginagawa namin, sinaseryoso talaga namin yun. For 1 hour talaga, wala. Okay? Mabubuhay tayo kahit walang internet. Mabubuhay tayo kahit walang aircon, electric fan, ilaw. Kaya natin, guys. Why? Why do I know na kaya? Because nagawa naman before. It was like that before. So yung ganon, go back to the basics. Consume less. Okay? Don't want anything more than you need. Kasi the moment that you buy something, pag may binili kayo, may effect na sa environment. Why? Yung wrapping niya, yung packaging niya, tatapon mo yan eh. Saan siya mapupunta? Okay? So, use less. Okay? Kung di kailangan, wag bilhin. Kung di kailangan yung kuryente, patayin. Kung di naman ganong kainit.
Hello, Miss Heidi. I'm having some internet concerns.
Can you still hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes,
All right.
Miss Heidi.
Okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, Carl.
Okay, good. All right, thank you so much for your very practical tips again, Miss Heidi. We have some more questions here. Okay, wait, let me go back to the questions. Okay, there's a question here. Are the regulations regarding waste management satisfactory for you? I do recognize that our actions play a vital role in making things work, but are the rules and regulations about waste management great?
Yes, we have so many laws. If we're talking about laws and regulations, we have a lot already. The problem lies in the implementation and the support of the public. Okay? Dito lang sa amin in Quezon City, numerous regulations have been made in waste segregation. But the support that it got, they implement it, but few people really follow. They don't segregate because why? They don't have hindi sila motivated. Okay, they're not inspired. Okay, tinatamad. I think that's the honest honest term for it. Okay, wala. Hindi nila naiintindihan na what difference will it make if I segregate. They don't understand. Okay? So, hindi tayo kulang sa laws. Ang dami-dami na if you research it, ang dami. In fact, bawat local government unit in the Philippines have their own. May kanya-kanya na silang regulations when it comes to waste management. But the problem always lies, first, implementation, and second, yung support. Hindi sumusunod yung mga tao.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss Heidi. So consistency is really the key. Okay, so we're down to our last few questions for you, Miss Heidi. Okay, so we have a question here. There are a lot of people who don't believe in climate change and are also against fighting climate change. What should we do if a big portion of the population still are not willing to counter climate change?
Okay. All right. We don't focus our energy on that. Okay. We can't change how people think. Okay. It's most especially if they're set in your ways. What you can focus your energy on is what you believe in. Okay. Kasi kapag finocus mo yung energy mo, yung attention mo dun sa mga nagne-negate, naubos na yung oras mo for things that you can do. Okay? So, wag pansinin, ignore. Focus on what you believe in and what you can do. Because if you do that, makikita mo, even without the intention of trying to sway others into believing what you believe in, you will begin to see along the way na nai-influence mo na pala sila. Okay? So, just do something out of, because you believe in it. It's not, don't do something to impress people. Okay? Don't do something to change how people think. Start doing something because you want to do it, because you believe in it. And then the positive effects will follow. I'm sure of it.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss Heidi. So don't need to impress. You just have to live what you believe in. So Matthews also gave a comment to that question. So thank you, Matthews, for giving your comment. In response to Jonathan's questions, from my experience, there are simply people who do not want to believe in an idea, as efficient or real in this case as it may be. As long as we have enough people advocating and pursuing change, then it will never die. It would be nice to convince those other people, but as I said, sometimes they just do not want to believe, and the only people who can convince them are themselves. Oh, thank you so much, Matthews, for this great idea. Okay. Oh, yes, a follow-up statement. This is something I've experienced when I try to minimize software bloat, which affects efficiency. I find it's in some cases going back to the old ways are simply not as good as they could be if I were to use modern technology. Things like social media, which on a technical scale have increased in capabilities, often yielding useful features to me personally. IRC and older things like it may be thinner and faster in some sense, but using them sacrifices those useful features that new technology provides. Okay, my point is, if we switch back to what our ancestors used, trying to make do with the lack of alternatives, we could lose some of that efficiency. Thank you so much, Matthews. Thank you so much for your words. Okay, Miss Heidi, we don't want to lose you in this session anymore, but we are very thankful for your presence, and we thank you also for answering the adolescents' questions. But are there any last few words you would love to share to everyone?
Oh, just like in the last slide of my presentation, I'd like to give you, first, thank you for your beautiful insights. Okay, sobra akong natuwa. I feel so proud to have this opportunity to share my thoughts with everyone, and thank you for sharing your thoughts. Yung energy dito sobrang positive. So I'm so proud to be a part of the Abbas community. You are raising these children well. All right. I will leave you with that question that I posted in my last slide. Think about it. Okay. What can you do? What is one thing? Okay. If you can think of more, better. But if there's one thing, okay, what can you do that is uniquely you to conserve the environment? What could be your contribution? Ano yung toka mo? So I'll leave you with that thought. And every day, after waking up, ask yourself that question. Okay, and I hope that it will motivate you to act upon it. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Okay, thank you very much, Miss Heidi. Now, would like to give this virtual certificate of appreciation to you. Okay, so certificate of appreciation is awarded to Miss Heidi Santos de Maisip for being a resource speaker and sharing valuable insights on media and its role in environmental conservation at the Abbas Orchard School's Erdkinder Environment Project, given this 26th day of February 2021 at the Abbas Orchard School, La Granja Estates, Kualas, Baungon, Bukidnon. Signed, Miss Jenny Pajaron, Head Erdkinder Program, and Mr. Christopher Barameda, AUS Founding Director. So thank you so much, Miss Heidi, for your time. And thank you very much, dear adolescents, also for your questions and for participating. Okay, so right now we will be taking a short break. So we will be back after a short while. All right, welcome back, everyone. Is everyone still here? Are you guys here?
Yes, sir.
All right, so can I, how are you guys doing so far? Are you good?
Yeah, good.
Are we learning? Are we learning so many things?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Inspiring.
Okay, so let's make use of our technology now. Can you please type at least one word that you got from the previous talk? Okay, one word that you got from the previous talk, and let's see what your answers are. Okay, somebody said, all right. Oh, okay, wait. Media, environment, so inspiring. Planet, interesting. Change, climate, media, toka, yeah, toka. Advocacy, something new. Planet, climate, knowledge about media, be consistent. Climate, green. Change, climate, preservation, media. Nature, innovate, media. usage, change, climate, pollution, media, advocacy, TOCA, reuse, and nature. All right, thank you so much for participating. So we are now down to the second portion of our afternoon session. So we have today another guest, and she's someone familiar. So our guest this afternoon has been a guide of the Abbas Orchard School Cebu campus, and I think she's been with us for already 8 years. But what makes this lady very, very interesting is because she was a member of a Toastmasters club. So if you want to get to know more about the Toastmasters club, so you can go ask her later on, maybe after her talk. But she's into public speaking, and she has spoken in so many different programs. So we are very honored, and we are very much privileged to have our next guest speaker, who will share to us public speaking and its role in environmental awareness. So help me welcome Miss Mariam Justin Ligaspi, or also known as Miss Maha. Miss Maha, are you here?
Yes, I'm here, Carl. Thank you so much for
Good
this
afternoon.
one. Good afternoon indeed. And it's good to see those who are familiar. I see familiar faces. So, well, thank you for this one. For those who...
Miss Maha.
Hi there.
Here.
I miss.
Miss, you look different now.
Yeah, miss you do. I do somehow, yes, but still the same. I think those who are familiar with me, I say hello. For those who are not yet familiar, you might be asking, who is this person? Why is this person talking about public speaking? Well, let me introduce. I started with a communication degree. Okay, but then of course that isn't enough. In such a way that in college you'll learn the theories in the same way that you're learning the abstract concepts right now, right? But then through practice, you research, but later on you would then realize, for me, I realized that the community in college is not big enough. And that's also the reason why I joined Toastmasters. I'd like to share my screen, if I may. There you go. So I joined Toastmasters. You might be asking, what is Toastmasters? So Toastmasters International is a non-profit educational organization. What it does is it operates clubs worldwide for the purpose of promoting communication, public speaking, and also leadership. Now, for me, I have been a member of Toastmasters for 9 years. So if I am to enroll again, renew my membership this June, it will be a decade for me already. So now the question, why would I stay in the organization for many, many years? Because I am a witness of the benefits of working on your skill in public speaking. So great leaders should be great communicators, and that's a fact. Now, for me, I'm your guide, and who am I leading? It's definitely the children who are with me. Now, for you in the future, I don't know what's your plan, but definitely if you have your projects, who will, who are the people that you will then lead? It's either your friends, your classmates, or your community. Then you should learn. Eventually you'll be handling them. You should also learn, develop some of those skills, and one great skill is communication. Now, at this time, environmental awareness, we're talking about that, right? And that's very critical at this age of time, and for many reasons. And I've seen some of your reasons, and I'm happy to see that most of you are aware of it. Now, right now, I heard some of your responses through the comments from the previous session, and you have a lot of ideas about environmental awareness. And you seems like you have so much thoughts about environment as well, and you have been observing how others have done it as well. Those are amazing. My advice, hold on to those thoughts and ideas. But I also agree with Mahatma Gandhi when he said that all good thoughts and ideas mean nothing without action. Let me say that again. All good thoughts and ideas mean nothing without action. So all those ideas will remain in your head if you will not take action, if you will not speak up. If you fail to deliver your message across. Even though you speak up but you fail to deliver the message across, it would still be a fail. To deliver the necessary to deliver the necessary message, to develop the necessary skills is your priority as a youth right now. Meaning you have the age, you are young, you have how many years ahead of you. For me, I'm counting it down already, but for you, you have lots of years ahead of you. So take advantage of your age right now. Public speaking is essential for any form of advocacy. And I can attest to that because I have seen it. No matter what platform you are on, let it be on stage, in your private group meetings, or perhaps in project proposal, it is essential. Because the goal of public speaking is to get the message across effectively. That's the goal. Now, when you say about communication, so communication, if by theory, there are three factors in it. So you have the message, you have the medium, and you have the feedback. So the message, well, the name itself, no, the medium, it's the transportation, how the message is being transported, and the feedback. You're talking about audience. Now we're talking about environmental awareness. So awareness, the feedback is your audience, and since it's awareness, you're talking about a great or a bigger crowd. So you do not bring awareness limited to your family alone around this time. It now demands environment awareness from the word itself. It now demands at least your community. Okay, perhaps 2 to 3 families along with it na. So it's not just a single one family. So public speaking is essential for environmental awareness. Now I'd like everyone to let's study every each word. Humayin natin yan. So for example, you have the message, right? The message, it contains a lot of things. Like for example, it could be the language. You may choose to use English as your language. You may choose Filipino or Cebuano. It depends on who your audience is, okay? Or if it's English, then you have to consider if it's a casual or is it in a formal tone, or what mood am I going to deliver it? Because the way you craft your speech or your article online or your spiel or your pitch, it will depend on your audience as well. So for us, the way we craft it, sometimes we follow different kinds of techniques. Sometimes we have what we call the power of 3 techniques, when we have to repeat the message 3 times just to make sure that the message will get across, and other form of techniques as well. So all in all, when you say message, you're talking about the content and the organization of your speech, the things that we will say. Now, here's the thing. Sometimes kasi, we have this tendency na there's so many things that are in our mind. And tendency, we say everything in one go. Oh my. So you have information overload. So you might be able to share 100 ideas, but mind you, none of them will be remembered. Why? Because there's just a lot of it. So part of the message is trying to identify what is then the very important part of your message and put that on your platform. The whole part, build your message around that one. Now, sometimes it also means the organization. So perhaps you mentioned it's either you have your thoughts, you want to share it. Is there a smooth flow of your thoughts? Can we follow through your thoughts easily? If it's a step by step, like for example, in the solid waste segregation, if you want to share it with your community, is it clear enough? Can we see it clearly? Can we understand it? So those are part of the organization that we have to equip ourselves when we're sending the message. Now, one thing I learned message is that personal experience is an important contribution. sometimes we have these abstract concepts. We know what is the concern in our environment. We know the greenhouse effect, all these abstract concepts, we are aware of it. We also know urban gardening, still abstract concept. That's important. But when we talk to the people now, a huge chunk of your message is your personal experience. So for you, I noticed there some of you have gathered some experience already. Hold on to those experiences as well. Because that's the one that would move the people into action. That's the one that would people would believe, oh, he knows or she knows what she or he's talking about. So add on to the experiences that you have right now. Now, the the other thing aside from message, the next one is what you call the medium. I think you're very familiar with this. We just talk about media. You just learned about media and you know that there's a lot of it from television to perhaps the radio way back, but now commonly all of you aware about the social media. So with the social media that you have online right now is still they're a different form. It could be written. It could be also through a video. It could also be through podcast as well. That has to be considered. But the most important thing about the medium is you. Yes, it's you. Why? Because you are the one who is delivering it. The way you deliver the message, especially, for example, if you are video or podcast, that is very important. The vocal variety that goes along with it, the intonation and pauses is very important. Sometimes for us, sometimes the passion could drive us, and then we keep on saying this bam 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 bam. You know, it's like bam 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 this and that. Okay, yes, but then for us, for those who are listening to you, sometimes there are important matters that will then you lose some important matters. Why? Because we don't have enough pauses for them to retain whatever message that you want them to remember. So delivery is also important. Actually, it's equally important to the content. So the gestures also is part of this medium, the way you deliver. Now, as you notice, in everything that we do in the message and as well in how you deliver it, the audience is a major part of it. Okay, why is it important? Because you have to consider what kind of language am I going to use? What kind of jargon? What do I mean by that? Well, the way I speak to you is different the way I speak with the younger children. And the way I speak with you is also different in the way that I speak with my colleagues. Depends on the topic as well. It would differ as well. So that would lead us to the next factor. Diba? You have your message, you have the medium, finally you have the feedback. This is all part of communication. So when you say feedback this time, um, this is referring to the evaluation of your audience. Okay. For my target audience, was the message memorable? So was I able to call them to action? That's also very important, especially to your advocacy right now, which is environmental awareness. So earlier, you mentioned na, okay, there was a question earlier, what should we do if a big portion of the population still not willing to counter climate change? So you go back to that. That's part of the evaluation. How come they're still not willing? Perhaps the way the message was crafted is not intended for this population. So right now, you might like to take a look at your community. Is your small community that you are in right now, are they, like the barangay that you are in, are they following through these practices? If not, why not? Is there something wrong on how perhaps the local government shared the information to them? What went wrong? So these are all part of evaluation, and this is important in crafting your message. And these are all part of public speaking. Now, one great hurdle in public speaking can be our thoughts as well. Sometimes we might think, oh, I'm afraid. I cannot imagine myself speaking in front. Let me write, but speaking is another thing. Or sometimes we say, I'm still too young. No one will listen to me. They don't believe me. I think that's very common for us. Or you say, I don't think I can do it. Okay, these were also my thoughts when I started. I started in college, so I was still studying at that time. But then I joined Toastmasters because I'm not good even in interacting with other people. So never mind this public speaking when you have to talk to a crowd. But for me, my hurdle at that time was to interact with 2 to 3 people because that's my nature. I'm an introvert. But then again, what I'm saying is that the public speaking, it's not easy because you're fighting yourself for this. But you have to break the ice. You have to conquer the fear, and you have to invest your time as you develop the skill. And I think that's the liberating word for us, that public speaking is a skill. Now that it is a skill, it's not a nature, it's not in us. Therefore, it can be learned and it can be practiced. And practicing it, doing it over and over again, being mindful as you do it is very important. Encouraging thoughts, isn't it, for public speaking? But then again, these are great thoughts about public speaking, but we have to act upon it. So let us have we have people who could motivate us. And I think you're familiar earlier, you've just seen Greta Thunberg early at the age of 15. I'm not so sure if can you give a yes? Can you please type yes if you have watched her speech? Okay, there's a lot of speeches. Heard Greta. Can you please type yes if you heard her speech already? Okay. So, okay, I'm seeing a lot of you have heard her speech. A number of you have heard her speech already. And she did a number of interviews as well. So, some of you might watch not just one or two speeches. Perhaps some of you watch a little bit of it, so you're somehow familiar of her. But then again, why am I asking that? Because if you haven't, or if you haven't fully listened to her speech, I advise you to listen. Why? Because when you hear her speech, you could see how passionate she is when she delivers her speech. She uses a lot of imagery, a lot of visuals, and these are the literary devices that she used as well, so that she could effectively give her message. So because she's using this imagery, like she was mentioned about her personal experience about the fire. So there's that sense of fire. And because of there's fire, there's this sense of urgency. You could feel that in her speech. These these devices allowed us listeners to feel it. And we are moved by it. And that is public speaking. And once we are moved by it, which is the very powerful tool, we take action. People start taking action. So, what she gave was a persuasive speech because there's this sense of urgency. But Greta was not the first one. This is your generation. In our generation, we also have Kulis. So, Severn Kulis Suzuki, this is way back in 1992. She spoke, well, she had a project, age 9, about environmental awareness. But then she spoke in public at the age of 12. So if you're going to listen to her speech, the content in her speech, it's direct and concise, but very impactful. Still persuasive speech, but unlike Greta is more like a dramatist. You could sense it, you could feel the vocal variety and everything else. The emotions is present. But Cullis is not so much like Greta because perhaps that's her personality. But then that is still a persuasive speech. She was still able to move the people, and that is for her, she was demanding, pleading, actually the word that she used, powerful, no? Pleading for change. Even that word plead itself, it was placed with such purpose that the reason why people take notice of it. And that's public speaking. When you stitch everything else, from the message to the way you deliver it, as you consider the audience, all of those is public speaking. It's like you strategizing everything. So for her, she was not a dramatist, but then the content of her speech was well thought of. So very impactful. Now, what they did is call to action. Okay, not just for the politicians, but also to each and every home. That's why for Greta, now you see the audience that she's taking on towards to are the youth, into action as well. So public speaking was able to spread the news to intended audience. So to see the change, actually to see the change, it really takes time, and you have to see a bigger picture. As a speaker, a public speaker, you have to take note of that bigger picture. So this is just an example. When you talk about advocacy, have environmental awareness. The very bottom, which take a huge chunk, is the civic awareness. So you're talking about your community. So you always start in your community. So then you have to wonder, from there you would start. What kind of language am I going to use for my community? What kind of message should I put in to my community? Is it just focused to climate change, what's happening right now? Or should I give specific instructions to how it will then be? So from there, you're going to draft it from there. Now, once it's successful, you have the public engagement already taking into action. That is yet another kind of drafting the speech already. Drafting your message, that is another thing already. Then you move up to the movement and the change that you're hoping for. In each stage that you have, each one requires a level of public speaking skill. So no matter what level you are in, when we're talking about awareness, public speaking is essential. Okay, so right now you might wonder, you might want to consider and think about, how are you with your public skill? Are you afraid to speak in front? Are your message, do they get across easily? So those are the things that you have to consider. What are your weaknesses and what are your strengths in public speaking? So you are young, then it is a novelty to speak of important matters such as the environment at your age. So grab that opportunity. This is I say, this is your time and age, and you're talking about your future as well. All good thoughts and ideas mean nothing without action. So I encourage you to make it happen and to take action as well. So I hope I give you a little bit information about public speaking and how it's related to your environmental awareness. If you do have questions, you may ask.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss Maha, for that very insightful talk. All right. So what I really got from your talk earlier was the idea that it always starts with you. It always starts with me. It always starts with the adolescents, and they really have to believe it. And just like what Miss Heidi said earlier, also to reinforce what she said and what you said, you have to really believe. Believe it yourself first, and then you take action. Okay, because it always starts in the mind. So thank you very much, Miss Maha, for your time. Now we are now down to the open forum. Okay, hold on, guys. Let me fix my audio. All right. Okay, so all right, let's proceed to the open forum. So, Miss Maha, we have some questions for you. Okay, so let's go to our first question. All right. Okay, let me access my list of questions. So, Miss Maha, the first question, how would you ensure key information is understood and remembered by the audience? Again, how would you ensure that key information is understood and remembered by the audience?
All right. That's a very valid question because a lot of speakers are having trouble with that one because yeah, as I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of things up in the head. So and everything is very important. So how am I going to focus to what is really important? So number one, the power of letting go. Okay, so let go of the other topics that you find you could separate it in a different kind of form or a different kind of message. Stick to what is really important. Anyways, you could always go back to the second point or third point that you would like to go to. Now you have identified the key message, okay? Now you have identified the key message. Then from there, the techniques that I mentioned earlier, about one is you mentioned about the power of three. So the power of three is the time when we put the message in the beginning, in the at the middle of our speech, and at the ending of our speech as well. So we repeat it over and over again. So in that way, it will then be remembered. Another thing, I think, because when you are writing, it's good if you have words, high words, diba? But then when you are speaking, simple words would do. And for me, I attest to go for simple words because if what you want is for your audience to easily understand it, go for concise, direct, and simple words. In that way, they would always remember it.
Thank you very much, Ms. Maha. I like the idea of using simple words because a lot of people are so tempted to use very big words to make sure they appear more authoritative in terms of public speaking. But yes, it's really true because you are also because whenever you use simple words, you can deliver to a much bigger audience. So thank you so much, Ms. Maha, for answering that question. Now, my next question is, do you have any public speaking tips for first timers?
Just do it. No, I think that's very important to really do it. Don't mind about the people. Don't mind about what they'll do. I mean, expect that it won't be great. I think that kind of mindset as well, because it's your first time. I mean, you have to do it at the very least. Don't imagine that the journey for public speaking, it's like a step by step. It's not you're gonna jump into the next floor already. It doesn't work that way. You have in every step. It's also good kasi na you're familiar with what particular technique. What am I talking about? First, if you have to conquer your fear, that's the only goal. Conquer your fear. That's it. That's why you say, just do it. Okay, you're so scared, no? That's why I'm telling you, just do it. We're not thinking about organization yet. We're not thinking about the content yet. I just want you to do public speaking. Once you have conquered that fear, then you move to the next one. Okay, I've done it. I'm afraid. I mean, but it's okay. I've done it. I've conquered it, and I've delivered two or more. After that, you go to your weaknesses. I've done it, but it's not very easy to understand. So the next goal that you're going to work on is on the content. Okay, so once you move on the content, on the organization, you move to the next one. You could like to move on the vocal variety. If you're done with the vocal variety, you can like to move to the next one, and that is for the researches perhaps when you could support whatever your message is. And then finally, you might want to include, oh, I want to make it a persuasive speech like Greta and Coolest perhaps. I want to make it inspirational speech. So aim for that slowly.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss Maha. So you mentioned number one, just do it. Number two, take care of the content. Number three, mind your vocal variety. So know your audience basically, so that you will know what kind of tone you'd like to use. Number four, to research. And number five, decide what kind of speech you're going to make. Let's say a persuasive speech for example. So thank you, Miss Maha. Another one here. How do you even when during your first time speaking in front of a crowd, were you frightened?
Of course.
Can you share to us your story? Would you mind?
I think for me during the time, the reason why I joined Toastmasters is because in interpersonal, interactive, I don't know how to interact. And then I think the reason why I don't want to interact because I find everything that concerns me personal. So why on earth am I going to stand in front of everyone and tell them my personal story? It's mine. That kind of thinking. So for me, I had my mentors, good thing. I had my mentors with me who helped me conquer that. But before I was able to do that, I was crying. Okay, I was crying to them asking, why do I have to do that? Why do I have to do this? So it's really a self battle if you're going to think about it for me because that's how afraid I was then. And I think there's this emotion. I don't know if everyone felt it or if there's some of you feel that way. You know, when you're talking to someone and the person is like of the stranger and then it becomes a crowd. So there's three or four you're talking to, you're not familiar with them. You want to vomit. That's how it was for me. I just 3 to 4 people, I want to vomit. Or if not, I just want to disappear. So those emotions are real. I mean, it's part of the public speaking. But then again, yeah, you have to just do it. If you need to cry overnight just for you to do it the following day, do it. But practice. I think for me, what helped me was practice. I of the children here now. For me, before I go on stage and perform, I do it at least 30 times. 10 times looking at the wall, 10 times looking at the mirror, and another 10 times standing up, imagining everyone in the crowd. So at least 30 times.
Wow, that's a big number. All right, hold on. Okay, I'm so sorry for the echo, guys. Okay, another question here, Miss Maha, is this: how did you overcome the tendency to say or
Oh, yes. I don't know if someone's taking down and ums, but that's also one thing that we do. If you, I think this is for everyone, if you decided to practice on public speaking, for example, what I could suggest is practice on having evaluation, having that feedback. Whoever speaks in front, there would always be someone who's listening. I mean, everyone is listening, but perhaps you could listen based on the content, based on the organization, or based on the delivery. Those three things important. The and the ums is on the delivery. So what we do in Toastmasters, which can be done as well whenever you do public speaking in your own sessions in school, is we count the ums, and the filler word. So, you know, however, I don't know. So there are those filler words. No is a filler word for Tagalog, but then Cebuano it's kuwan. But anyway, those anyway is a filler word. So you have to be aware of it. The moment that you are aware of your filler word, the next time that you're going to speak, you're more careful, and eventually from 10 times of saying us, it lessened to 5 times, it would lessen to 3 times. Eventually, it's no longer in your vocabulary. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss Maha. Okay, I have another question here. Okay, this is going to be something more personal. What do you love and hate about public speaking?
Ooh. Okay. I think what I love about public speaking is I like it when you are to perform, when it's a different character, a different persona, but it's not who I am, and I could be that character because that's also part of public speaking. So because for us we have different persona, you could be a sister, you could be a student, you could be a friend, but once you become a speaker, that carries a different persona. That's what I love about it. And I also love the idea of creating and crafting the speech in a way that I want it, because as a person I may be creative. By the way, you have to identify what kind of writer are you. Are you the creative writer, or are you more on the technical side? So for me, I am creative. So that's what I love about it. It's free flowing. What I don't like about it is, think I mentioned that earlier, is when it now has to tackle on my personal. When I have to put on the personal experiences. And that
Mm.
was a major, I know, hurdle for me. But yeah, it happens. Eventually, parang I'll get used to it in a sense. So, but it will never go away in the same way that the nervousness whenever you speak in front would still be there. Pero through practice, mawawala somehow.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss Maha, for answering that question. Maybe last three questions, Miss Maha. First, what do you want your audience to remember? What do you want your audience to remember every time you give a presentation?
Ooh, okay. The the kind of public speaker that I am building myself into is that of a storyteller. All right. So when I give my speeches, I don't follow the you have to give your point and you have to give your reasons and examples and you go back to your point. It's like a debate kind of thing. But for me, I like it as storyteller when you have the past, you have the present, and you have the future. So for me, whatever kind of speech that is I'm asked tasked to do, it always should always be about me telling a story. So the way I craft it is always that of like a story. And vocal variety is one thing that I work on as I practice on public speaking, because that is another skill of a storyteller.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss Maha. So I wonder how your children in elementary would have loved your storytelling, the great stories. Okay,
tell more
Matthew.
stories.
Yeah, Matthew raised his hand. Matthew, do you want to speak? You can unmute yourself, Matthew.
Yeah. So I just wanted to share, my opinions on it. I think it would be interesting to get, someone who's relatively a professional compared to me at least, and just this random guy who wants to talk. So I like public speaking because I just get to talk to people. I like talking to people. I like talking in general. I don't think it has anything to do with public speaking. There's nothing inherent to it that I like. It's just that I get to express my opinions to other people, and that's the thing I like. That's why I like other stuff. I'm using the word like a lot. Art and all these things where expression is a key and it's very important. It's the centerpiece, and that's why I like public speaking, because it's humans are more, how do I say this, used to people speaking. Maybe it's because all of these years of just regular communication, there was no messaging, there was no technology. It was just people speaking to each other in whatever language they could. So they listen more, they pay more attention, unless they don't want to pay attention in the first place. But when they pay attention, they really pay attention. They hear every word, they listen everything, they formulate their own opinions, and it evolves into a healthy discussion. I'm sharing ideas, everyone else is sharing ideas. And something interesting I noticed when Miss Maha said that she likes to perform because she gets to become, someone different, because It really depends on what story or what narrative you're trying to tell, and you have to turn yourself into something else. It actually shares some similarities with a legal loophole. Is something really interesting. Is that when an actor portrays themselves in any media, such as a book, a TV show, a movie, anything like that, they're not themselves. So if Tom Cruise were to appear in a movie and people would say, "Hey, it's Tom Cruise," it's not actually Tom Cruise. Legally, that's Tom Cruise portraying someone who has the memories, the emotions, who looks, feels, and talks like Tom Cruise, but is legally distinct from Tom Cruise. So I think it's interesting that something so technical like law, where you're always trying to one up each other. Somebody else finds an exploitation, and then you get this guy finding another exploitation to exploit that exploitation, so that eventually one of them will come out on top. Something so convoluted, and something so natural agree with each other. And I just noticed that, so I thought I'd want to share it. And practice. How to get good at public speaking. I don't think there's really anything you do. It's just once you have the basics of grammar and how you should generally, what do you call it, structure your sentences and all of this technical stuff. Once you memorize that and you know how to do it with your eyes closed or whatever, okay, once you have that down, you don't need to do anything else. You don't need to attend classes. You don't need to listen to anybody. Just do your own thing. After you get the rudimentary stuff down, you can do whatever you want. But most people, since there's already so much you can do, there are so many ways of telling the same thing, so many ways of expressing the same opinion in 10 words, 5 words, 2 words, 1 word, 2 words combined. There's so much you can do, is that nobody really needs to make their own thing. So it's more a combination of all of these pre-existing things. So there is nothing to memorize after you memorize the basics, because you can do whatever you want and it will be technically fine because it's self-expression. So you don't need to fear anything because you can't be wrong. A good analogy I've heard, comparing the subjective arts like movies, television, and criticism of those arts, would be, it's all a game, but you create the rules. So there's no way to lose, and there's also no way to win, because you're perpetually winning and losing at the same time. So if anybody gives you criticism, it doesn't need to apply to you. You can make it apply to you. You can agree with them, or you can't agree with them, or you don't even need to consider their opinion. They can be non-existent at all. That's what's so fun about it. You can do whatever you want. It's the purest form of self-expression. And that's why I think the best place to practice it is probably in a really diverse group. Just out in the streets or in the internet, because we can't really go outside physically. So internet communities, you do that because everyone could be mean. Everyone can be nice. Everyone can be everything, because there is no physical room for things. You can have 10,000 people in a single chat room or a single group chat, whatever the platform is calling it. And it won't be more than one person. You can have 2 people in a group chat, and those 2 people will not fill more space than the 10,000 will. So personality traits like ones that don't agree with your own are going to be more apparent. This way you can get faster and more effective criticism. Because if there's somebody who really does not like your work, you can see these interesting aspects that you would have never thought of or never heard from your friends or your group or whatever you have, because they're so far from your own. They're so deviated that you could never possibly think of it on your own. And I think that's the a wonderful part of the internet, even if it can be toxic to some people. Personally, it's fine. I don't really care. But to some people, it can be. Even if you have that, you still have the massive upside of being able to get these people and see all of their ideas, all of their beliefs all at once, just on plain text. and you can interpret it however you want. So I think that's everything I have to say. That's just my
Wow.
barrel of goodness.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Matthews.
I'd like
That
to
was a
speak
lot.
to
Thank you,
Matthews as
thank you.
well. Yeah, that's true. No, I think there's really a lot. You're quite a verbose individual, and I know that you are. But I think what Matt is trying to say is that we are social beings. And I think the first three parts that Matthews put on earlier, it's all chunked to that we are social beings, and that's what we need. And just like what Matthews mentioned, it's up to you where you find comfortable when it comes to practice. But once you find the group that you want to practice your public speaking skills, you have to be careful to what group that you are part of, because if your goal, like for example, you mentioned about legal things, so I think it will be creative better if the term we used earlier was creative rather than legal, because it's not written on law. But nevertheless, if you want to focus, I see that you're familiar with some of the laws, you might be part of a group that mainly concern of those inspiring lawyers or debaters. So you might want to be part of that community to help you with your public speaking. If you are the kind of person who, like me, likes storytelling, so me, I'll be part of a community that focus on stories, sharing the stories and telling the stories as well. So it depends on I mean, on your goal as a public speaker. And I'm happy that you are on that way of thinking, that yes, you have to practice. Now, I advise for you is to choose the right group, since you are aiming for that. I like that you're aware of your word, like as your feeler.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss Maha. And thank you, Matthews. Malakai raised his hand. By the way, guys, we have 5 more minutes left with Miss Maha, so let's just do this very quickly. Malakai, you can unmute yourself.
Oh, I was about to say something about that because I see we are overlapping the times a bit. Like if you see the schedule, yeah, you see we are a bit you might be how should I say this, you might be might extend this a bit or something like um it's like we're no
Oh,
like
I think your concern is the time, Malakai. So
yes.
we're just thank you so much for bringing that up. We're wrapping up this section together with Miss Maha, and then right after, just stay tuned, and we will have that fixed. Okay, so don't worry so much about it. But anyway, thank you so much, guys, for your patience in waiting and for taking this time to really listen to Miss Maha's discussion. So Miss Maha, anything that you would like to leave our adolescents?
I think the taking action is very essential for us, especially when we're talking about self-development. So if you're afraid, just do it. That's the only thing I could say. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss Maha. Now, okay, so I would like to present this virtual certificate of appreciation to Miss Mariam Justin Soliano for being a resource speaker and sharing valuable insights on public speaking and its role in environmental awareness at the Abbas Orchard School Erdkinder Environment Project, given this 26th of February 2021 at the Abbas Orchard School, La Granja Estates, Pualas, Baungon, Bukidnon, signed Miss Jenny and Mr. Chris Barameda. So Miss Maha, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. We really appreciate your thoughts.
Thank you also.
Okay, guys, so we are down to the last portion, but we know that some of you guys might want to take a toilet break or might want to grab something just really very quickly. So we will have a very, very short break. So stay tuned. We will be right back. All right, we are back. Okay, we're down to the last portion of our forum this afternoon. By the way, I would just like to remind everyone to use your real name. So we've seen some Washington, someone named Washington, George Washington, the others, Eminem. So I'm so sorry, guys, but to those of you who are not using your proper names, we will have you removed from the Zoom meeting. So we will ask our technical person to do that. So okay, so how is everyone doing?
Okay.
Good.
Doing well.
All right, so
Fine.
okay,
Good.
guys, now we are down to the last portion, and in this portion, you will be allowed to talk together in a small group. So we are going to have a breakout session. Okay, so would you like that? Would you like to spend a little bit more time together? Just have the time with your amongst yourselves. Because here you will have a chance. Here you will have a chance to work with someone who is maybe from a different campus. So and meet new people, meet new friends. So what will happen is this. In the breakout room, you will only be given around 15 minutes. Okay, and after 15 minutes, the room will automatically close. Now, who will be with you in the waiting room? Mr. Dino will be there in one of the rooms. Mr. Curlick will also be there in one of the rooms. And Miss Alwyn will also be there. So they will be there with you just to coach you and to guide you, but all the work will be given to you guys. So it's your responsibility. So what are the things we're going to do? There are only 3 challenges. Again, there are only 3 challenges. So the first challenge is this: create a vision. So, but before we talk about this vision thing, okay, by the way, you are going to choose 3 different, one among the 3 different rooms. Let's say, for example, these 3 rooms are the following. We have air, water, and energy. And let's say, for example, you would want to work for air. Then you go click join air. Or if you want water, then go click join water. Or if it's energy, go click join water. Okay, so whatever, so wherever you're interested in, you join that group and meet new people. So again, going back to the challenges, the first challenge is to create a vision. So a vision is a statement that provides a concrete way of to understand the purpose of your work. So vision statements, on the other hand, are future-based and meant to inspire and give direction to your organization. So how do you see your organization? Let's say if you are in air, how do you see your air organization in a year or in 5 years? Now, given that you're already taught by Miss Heidi and Miss Maha with some basic techniques of public speaking and using media, so how do you see your organization in a year or within 5 years? It's nice to have a shorter vision and a much longer scope. What's the second challenge? So the second challenge is to set 3 goals. So what do you want to achieve? You have to make sure, guys, like what Miss Maha and Miss Heidi mentioned earlier, the simpler, the better. So you have to be very specific. Your goals should be measurable, should be attainable, realistic, and time-bound. It should be, in short, SMART. And what's the third challenge? It's this: create action plans. So you have to make 3 practical steps you can do now, starting now, as soon as we open the breakout room. Okay, think of 3, create 3 specific action plans, specific and practical action plans. Okay, so again, number 1, create a vision. Number 2, set 3 goals. And number 3, create action plans. So Miss Owen, Mr. Dino, and Mr. Curlick will be there with you guys in the room. So Mr. Dino will take care of the air, of the breakout room for air. Mr. Curlick will take care of the breakout room for water, and Miss Alwyn will take care of the breakout room for energy. So, all right. So can we have the breakout rooms open? Okay, so the breakout rooms are open now. You may already choose what room or which room you would want to join. Feel free, guys, to choose your own room. Okay, there are still around 150 people left in the room. Okay, the others are joining the rooms now. Okay, please choose wisely. You can choose either air, water, or energy. And again, remember the 3 challenges. The first one is to create a vision. The second one is to set 3 goals. And the third one is to make 3 practical steps that you can do now. Oh, there are still around 91 people left in the main room. Okay, there's a question here. Okay, Jamie, you just go click join room, click breakout, and then you choose a room.
Mr. Carl, do the guides need to join any room?
Yes, they're free to join the other rooms, Miss Jenny. But the role of the guides is just to be quiet and just observe.
Here, here.
Mr. Carl, I think some participants are yet to update their Zoom accounts, so I guess we can
Okay.
ask them for their
Yes. If you cannot choose a room right now, please unmute yourself, and then tell the host to move you to a specific room. Okay, there are still around 60 people here.
Hello.
Yes,
Who's the host?
Mr. Ludwig.
Oh, okay. Can I be moved to the water one?
All
Okay,
right.
who are you?
OP6_Kirill.
All right, for a while.
Thank you.
Hello, sir. This is Audrey. I want to go to the water as well.
Okay, Audrey.
I want to go to water also. Thank you.
Can I go to air, please?
Can I go to energy?
Okay, can you guys put in the chat box the group that you want to join? So it will be easy for you to locate you. So, all right.
Okay, so those of you who don't have rooms yet, please type your desired room.
We encourage the guides to also choose a room. Thank you. Right, Carl?
Yes, Miss Jenny.
Hello,
Okay,
Chris?
Miss Olwen needs to be in the energy group. Mr. Ludwig.
Nasa waiting room siya, Chris. Sorry. Wala siya,
Okay,
Chris, sa
for a while.
waiting room.
LG Miss O.
Mr. Carl, I already assigned Miss O to energy.
Ay, thank you, Miss Christine. I need help.
Yes, I'm assigning.
Thank you, Miss Christine.
Mr. Ludwig.
Bruh,
Hello, bruh.
there are still like around a couple of adolescents who are not.
I think ano na sila.
Hello, Chris.
Kasi si group 8.
Want to find them? Like
Isaac. Isaac, where do you want to join?
Jamie.
Sky, where do you want to join, Sky?
And
And
I clicked. I joined water, but I clicked leave break of room by accident.
All right. How about you, Isaac?
Yeah, maybe I consider changing it.
Hello, sir.
Yes,
I'm
Jamie.
Jamie. I'd like like
Okay.
how we
Water
can
needs to
make
be
water
available.
available for everyone.
So like
Yes.
water distribution? Is that what you mean by availability?
Yeah, pretty much. Wait, where did that second C come from?
I have a vision.
Sure, you can
Go
share.
ahead.
Oh, okay. My vision is making water reusable in any matter of way, even though it's on the floor.
Okay.
Can still be reused.
Okay. So basically, like water like just in a loop, essentially.
Not on.
Yeah, like
Wait.
for example,
Okay.
you drink it,
Just
but then you
cleaning.
throw it at the floor, but you can take it and then like drink it again without anything. It's like not harmful.
Okay,
no
I'm just
germs,
gonna put
no virus
filtration there.
Yeah, filtration.
Yeah.
With using a technology that hasn't
We
been
have like 15 seconds left.
Yeah, we have like
No
15 seconds.
technology,
I mean, you can
nothing.
just, I mean, yes, maybe you could vacuum up the water and then you run it through a filter, but I don't know how how like
I
appetite.
have a question. Doesn't water filtration sound like a step of water distribution?
Oh no.
So I'm just
We have to
asking,
go
but
now.
Yeah, well, water filtration is also a very broad term. I mean, like, are you
Maybe
filtering
that
it?
could be one of our main ideas in our vision.
Alright then, so, vision, clean water distribution, water filtration.
So
Yeah, because you need clean water through filtration. Right. So that's the main idea. We can filter the water to get clean water. So we're
That's
heading in the right
water
doesn't
filtration
that
is
make
basically
it a
under.
goal, so rather than a vision?
Oh wait, those are goals or
We're like cleaning the
Well,
water.
not really. I mean,
no,
Kinda.
those are not goals. Aren't
I
they?
don't really know. I mean, yeah, that's more of a vision, seeing as a majority
No,
of the
like,
technology required for that hasn't been
it's
invented.
much
But
more like
I thought of it.
Yo.
Oh, sorry, you can go first. Sorry.
Wait, I'll just explain how will it work. Okay, you get like a water, okay, like a water source, and then you drink it or maybe give it to the plant. Then the rest of the water can be still used. It's like you're reusing water, but
okay,
not in a
reusable
dangerous
water.
way.
I'm just gonna change that to.
I'm just gonna explain
Yeah,
why I thought
that's
it
what I
was.
mean. It's like you're
Yeah.
using it and again.
The reason
So it's
why I
basically
think
like say
it's
let's compare it to
Can we let
sorry,
Kari speak?
this is a bit hard to relate
no,
to.
it's okay. I'm okay with listening to Nathan.
Okay, well, you see, so basically, so what you're saying is that it's something similar to basically how in Star Trek they turn their they reuse their poo into food. Basically, just reusing it,
like
just
that.
reusing the thing. I know it's
How
not.
is that?
You could
That's
say that, but it's
disgusting.
much more.
How are we gonna?
Yeah, you could say that.
Sorry, can I speak now? Sorry, I just
Alright.
thought that water filtration was be a goal because our vision is already clean water distribution. It's like the word clean water already you already assume the water is clean. That's why I thought water filtration would be more of a step rather than a goal.
Okay,
Because
so
it's kind of
it's like-
redundant having filtered water,
So
but you already have clean water in
There
your
we go.
vision.
Yeah,
Like
so
that?
our vision should just be clean water distribution, and then like water filtration should be like a goal.
Yeah, that's what
that
I.
we should
a goal in the plan.
Thank you for explaining for me.
Yeah.
I mean, like that.
What? No. Put the vision. No. Because we're just writing things down. Put under vision, reusable water, parentheses, filtration, right? So that it's clear. It's just gonna add up in your mind once it's laid out there.
Oh. Oh.
Okay, now we need to come up with goals to like get clean water distribution.
Right then. Goals.
Oh, is that a part of our like the number 1, number 2, number 3?
It's the what's
Okay.
the last one? I'm not sure.
No, because visions are first.
Yeah, and then you have 3 plans, and then the other ones, how can you do it right away? Like even though it's like COVID.
May have 58 seconds or 57 seconds.
Okay, let's just maximize this time as much as possible. Okay.
Our goal. What's our
Right
goal?
then.
That's already our goal.
Crunch mode.
Like save water and stuff like that.
I still understand what.
Wait,
Saving water, you can list
shut
it
up.
down as water conservation.
Never mind.
I have a goal. Goal is to do not use plastic anymore for bottles. Just use like anything that
I
could
mean,
be
somebody
used.
already invented plastic that dissolves in water.
Use.
How does that connect though?
It
I think we can make
pollution.
water
Without the
filtration
closing line,
goal.
8 seconds left.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay, so water filtration is now a goal. Okay.
All right.
Mr. Carl,
Yes, Miss Alwen.
I think that time is really not enough to come about with
yes,
all
yes.
those.
Sir, we're not enough, sir. Not
We're not
enough, sir. Everyone's
I
brainstorming.
really agree. But you know, guys. Oh wait, I think everyone's already back. Mr. Ludwig, is the breakout room closed already?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Amazing
Okay.
ideas.
I think everyone's back, and I know, guys, all of your ideas are just bursting, right? Do you all agree? Do you all agree? Yeah, and I know that our time, a 15-minute to a 30-minute, is very, very limited. But you do not worry, because there's going to be another session. We will have our Erdkinder Environment Project session 3 this March. So we'll be implement, but just remember
Question,
those
sir.
people in your group. Yes.
When was
Yes,
the
who's
part
that?
one?
Who's that?
That was me, Greg, sir.
The part one. Remember the World Wildlife Fund? It was the first session. Now today is the second session.
Was that
Okay?
back
So
in
talagang, I'm sorry.
school? Was that back in school?
No, it was here in Zoom I think last December,
Oh, I remember.
right before we had the break. Yeah. Okay.
May I say something?
Yes, sure.
I think this just suggestion, and instead of trying to remember who the people in your group are, just try to remember which group you were in.
Exactly. Right.
So
That's a very good suggestion. Thank you so much. Who are you?
I'm Nathan.
Oh, thank you so much, Nathan, for that suggestion. So, guys, just like what Nathan said, all you need to remember is the group you're part of. Okay, the group you're part of. And then next meeting, there's going to be a lot of planning, a lot of things that we will be doing together. Okay, so I guess we're down to the most with the last part of this program. So to give us a short overview of what's one of the things that we will be doing for the next session. There will be so many things we're going to do for the next session, but we're just going to give you a short glimpse, okay, as a small glimpse rather, of what will happen for this March EEP Session 3. So help me welcome Mr. Kerlik. Mr. Kerlik?
Thank you so much, Mr. Carl. Okay. So good afternoon, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Loud and
Good
clear.
afternoon, my dear adolescents. About the cycling of matter and the flow of energy among living and non-living parts of the earth. So we will be examining the role plants, microorganisms, and humans play in restoring the balance of the carbon cycle, okay, and protecting a resource that is just right under our feet. So the emphasis of my talk, guys, is more about the carbon cycle. I will discuss the importance of rebuilding healthy soil on a micro level through regenerative. I would like to underscore that word regenerative, okay, through regenerative farming and urban gardening. So regenerative farming and urban gardening refer to practices that reverse climate change by building soil organic matter and restoring soil degraded biodiversity, resulting in both carbon drawdown and improving the water cycle. You know, the way we grow our food, fuel, even the way we make our clothes either puts carbon in the atmosphere or pulls it into the ground. So, my dear adolescents, for me, the regeneration of our soil is our ultimate goal. The regeneration of the soil is the task of our generation. My health, our health, the health of the soil, and the health of the planet are one. They are the same. Okay? So, guys, see you at our next convergence. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Kerlik. So, on behalf of the entire Abbas Orchard team, we would like to thank everyone for joining our Erdkinder Environment Project Session 2. So we will see you again, guys, this March for our third session. So please look forward to more meetings together. And have a great day, everyone. Thank you so much. Goodbye, guys. Thank you.
Bye, sir. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye,
everyone. Everyone. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Guys.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Sir Dino. Sir, may I ask for the members so that I can make a group chat of the room group chat? Yes, Nate. Yes, Nate. I only remember my classmates. You can ask also CJ about it from the Granta. Who remembers? Because I need to run.
Bye-bye.
I'll just add you, sir, for if you have knowledge lang ha, I'll just add you. Sure, Nate. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Gregorio. Bye, guys.
Okay. Bye-bye. Bye.
Thank you, Nate. Bye, Nate.
Bye, Nate. Goodbye, Mr. Dino. Goodbye, Mr. Louis. Goodbye, Miss Christine. Goodbye, Miss Owen. See you on March.
Goodbye, Nate.
Bye, Miss Christine.
Bye, Nate.
Mr. and Miss Jessica. Mr. and Miss Jessica. And Miss Lady. I'll just write it in the chat.